A mover for the adoption of the agenda with the apologies. Lisan, can you assist me with the hands, please?
Honorable Dikhali here.
You may proceed, Honorable Dikhale.
Thank you very much. I want to move that we adopt the agenda. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Dikhale. Is there a seconder for Honorable Dikhale?
Honorable Maecho.
Honorable Maecho, over to you.
Thank you, Chair. I want to second the adoption of the agenda.
Thank you, Honorable Maecho. With the move and the seconder, our agenda is duly adopted. Our fourth item on our agenda is the consideration and adoption of the budget vote report. And that will be presented by Izzy Sang and Dr. Kuzwayo.
Good morning, honorable members and chairperson. Disang will take the committee through the report. As the chairperson has alluded in the opening remarks, we are considering budget vote 38 tourism report as per the estimates of national expenditure, which the Department of Tourism has allocated across its 4 programs, with the transfers of more than 50% that have been transferred to South African tourism. As Disang is presenting, members, we request that we focus more on the observations and the recommendations. What we request the members to note is that there are many issues during the consideration of the annual performance plan for both the department and the entity South African Tourism. There are many issues that the committee was not happy about. So what we did in the report, we consolidated those issues that were raised by many members into observations, and we therefore, as it was concluded, alluded in the concluding remarks of the chairperson in the meeting, that both SAT and the department have to table the addendums. So those issues that members raised during the presentations, we have indicated in various observations that those issues need to be articulated clearly in the addendums. So those will include issues like, for example, when you look at the interventions in the villages, townships, and small dorpies, and that not being clear in both APPs as to where these things will be done. Issues of the key performance indicators that are not clear, issues around employment pathways, issues around the internal controls to ensure that the findings of the Auditor General are not repeated. So all those issues, we have captured them in the observations, and there is one main recommendation that says there has to be a tabling of addendum So what we didn't include there is the time frame, because we'll request that members do that in this meeting. We are anticipating that maybe within 3 months of this meeting, which will then give the entity at least up to the end of the first term, already in the second month of the first term, but the committee will determine after how long, because we still need to conduct oversight of those on those issues. So we are proposing 3 months. We did not include the time frame, but the committee will determine those time frames, and also in line with the parliamentary program, we request that, as we normally do, Chairperson and honorable members, that the report be adopted today with all the amendments that the members will make in the presentation today. So, as we always say, it is your report, honorable members. Ours was just to assist to capture the issues as presented in the APPs of both the department and South African tourism, and also to distill the issues that members raised during the presentations and craft the recommendations from the observations, which were issues that were raised by members. So it's your report, honorable members. Ours is to facilitate the adoption of the report, but as I've alluded, we request that the committee adopts the report today. Then all the additional issues that will be raised by the committee will be captured appropriately, and then we will then verify all the issues with the chairperson if they are properly captured before the report is 80 seat in preparation for the plenaries. So I will give over to Disang, who will take the committee through the report. Thank you, honorable members.
Should I proceed, Chair?
Oh, I was just going to say thank you to Dr. Kuzwayo, and then over to you, Disang.
Thank you, Chair. As have been alluded by the content advisor, I'm going to detail only when we get to the observations and the recommendations. But in terms of the body of the report, I will just speak to what it entails, the structure, if the chair allows. So the first part is the introduction, Chair, which speaks to the just the background of the department and how it has been performed in terms of the performance in the industry, in terms of tourism. That's what we're trying to highlight there. And also in terms of its alignment to the 5-year strategic plan, and the performance also of the department in terms of the budget, and then how much of its budget is transferred to South African tourism, which stands at 54%. And then we also look at the rules of parliament that gives effect to this particular, the powers to the committee. And then we also look at the committee process in 2, which speaks to, I just highlight that the committee did consider the APP of both the department and the SA Tourism on the 21st of April, and with any attention to adopt this particular report today. And then in terms of the Department of Tourism, number 3, there we're basically looking at the core mandate of the Department of Tourism, which emanates from the Tourism Act of number 3 of 2014. We have listed all the mandates and responsibilities. Furthermore, Chair, at the bottom there, we're looking at the vision of the department, and then how it corresponds to the 4 key programs of the department, which is administration, tourism research policy in international relations, destination development, and tourism sector support services. We also give the purpose of those particular programs. And then we go to policy mandate, Chair. We're looking at the different prescripts that give powers to the department, actually informs their vision and the mandate. We've listed all of them coming from the Constitution, Chair, which is the first one, and then all the other legislation, including the white paper, the NDP, 2030 vision, national tourism sector strategy, the medium-term development plan, tourism sector master plan, the tourism growth partnership plan, the state of the nation address also of the year in question, Chair. And then if you're looking at the strategic priorities for 2026-27, Chair, we have just put them into tables to make it easier also for the committee. If you're looking at the priority number 1, Chair, we've put the inclusive growth and job creation, and then we'll have your outcomes and also the outcome indicator for that particular priority. Priority 3, build a capable, ethical and developmental state, and then public sector to improve. Then also the the MDTP outcomes and the outcome indicators, Chair. Then if we're looking at the institutional policy reviews, 3.3, we just noting that these are the strategies that were due for review, Chair, within the medium term, which is your national tourism sector strategy, the tourism sector master plan, the white paper on the development and promotion of tourism in South Africa, and the tourism BEE charter. Then we also note that the committee is concerned that the department has not listed the following sector strategies which are due for review in the current financial year, Chair. We have listed all of them there, which we believe that they are due for review. The committee also would like to refer the minister and the department to the UN tourism strategy and tourism plans guidelines, Chair, which also stipulate that some of these strategies and policies need to be reviewed for 5 years. And then if we're looking at the budget allocation for 2026-2027, Chair, we know that the department in the medium term will be receiving about 7.9 billion. And then the transfers to South African tourism account for about 4.5 billion, which is 57.1%. And then also the average increase is about 3.8%, Chair, from 2.4 to 2.7 billion between 2025-26 to 2027-28. And then we're also looking at just highlighting in terms of how the budget allocation is increasing between the different programs. We go into detail in terms of the narrative per programs. And then if you go to budget allocation for the overall budget in this particular table, Chair, it just gives you a breakdown of how the budget has been allocated for in the medium term in terms of the three different the four different programs of the department and also the increases. So the far right will show you the real change and the nominal change in terms of percentage in increase for the budget. And then we also give a narrative in terms of how the budget has been increased and how it's being spent. And then the relevance of the APP, Chair, per program. Here we're looking at the APP as it's set out and how it speaks to the strategic plan of the department, including whether they are compliant with the SMART principles. And then we're looking at Pro 3.5.1, which is the administration. This particular one, Chair, it just basically shows you how the money has been allocated in the administration program. which includes your ministry, your management, corporate management, financial management, and office accommodation, and how the money will be spent over the medium term, and how it's allocated, and how the increases will be over the medium term. 0.7% increase in nominal terms for Program 1, which is an increase from 364.2 million in 25-26 to 392.4 million in the current financial year. And then if we're looking at Program 2, Chair, which is the Tourism Research Policy and International Relations, this one, Chair, it has got an allocation of 1.37 billion for the 2026-27 financial year, of which 1.27 billion is the one that is transferred to SA Tourism, which takes the bulks of the budget. This represents 92.7% of the program budget allocation, Chair. And then the remaining allocation is for the program is about 99.5 million. And then 69.2% of that is basically for compensation of employees. If you allow me to go to Program 2, Chair, which is the budget allocation for tourism research and
You may see.
Is the tourism sector supposed to hence translation we started to highlight in terms of the expenditure that is expected within the medium term and how it has been allocated, as I have also alluded in terms of how much will be.
Companies are hesitant to invest in South Africa because of our BBBEE policies. And as the DA, we obviously don't believe that it is to the benefit of South African tourism and that it be steered by this policy. So I therefore recommend that under policy mandate that instead of tourism BBBEE, we rather include and follow and incorporate transformation targets that align to GNU priorities, SDGs, that's Sustainable Development Goals 8, 10, and 12. My recommendations, which I will send to the group and to Disang. Recommendation 1, the committee recommends that all relevant tourism programs incorporate transformation targets that align to GNU priorities and SDGs 8, 10, and 12, focusing on SMME development, youth and women ownership, rural VTSD geographic spread, and skills transfer.
There she starts again with that BBB verse.
Chair, if you could just let me finish my recommendation, and then we can decide whether to add on it. The committee recommends that all relevant tourism programs incorporate transformation targets that align to GNU priorities and SDGs 8, 10, and 12, focusing on SMME development, youth and women ownership, rural VTSD geographic spread, and skills transfer, with specific measurables to be tabled within 90 days for oversight of our committee. My recommendation 2, timeframes for all plans and programs must be tabled in 90 days so that the committee can do proper oversight on all measurables. Our last recommendation will come from Honorable Elmarie with regard to tourism safety. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Ishmael, we've lost you.
She is done, Chair. We did not lose her. The next speaker can come in.
Honorable Linda.
Chairperson, good morning, colleagues. Good morning. First of all, Chair, I want to thank the team for drafting our report. They are great recommendations. And also thank you for taking our inputs in consideration. I think it's well drafted. However, Chairperson, I just want to make one recommendation. But before I make it, I want to mention that we as a committee must acknowledge the serious risks that may hamper our job creation, growth, and safety. And it's a responsibility of us as a committee to continue to put pressure on the department to mitigate these risks. And let me mention them, Chair. Governance instability at SA Tourism, we know that. The large budget transfer, but a weak accountability that we see. The cuts to SA Tourism marketing and the business events. That it reduces arrivals, it reduces spend, and it undermines the year-round tourism. The infrastructure projects, and I love the recommendation that Disang made on that. And the DBSA performance failures, it kills delivery, the credibility, and it also delays job creation. The EPWP work opportunities are not converting into sustainable employment. It's inflated job numbers given to us without real livelihoods. The safety strategy is weak in townships and rural nodes, so growth outside the hubs is impossible without security, and therefore I'm going to bring a recommendation. And the last two is there are no clear marketing impact measurements. So it's a high risk of wasteful spending and weak oversight. The tourism incentive program reductions weaken small business enterprises' development. It undermines competitiveness and private sector investment. And these are the things that we as a committee need to just keep in mind all the time, although we really do have a great report. So, Chair, on the recommendation, tourism safety is rightfully highlighted in point 5.6 under the observations, and it's a critical point that we need to address. So the observation specifically states that the committee is calling for concrete measures to improve both tourist actual safety and their perception of safety. So based on this observation, it would be fair for us to make this recommendation to include that the minister table a tourism safety deployment plan within 3 months with clear KPIs, measured crime reduction, response times, conviction rates, and tourist safety perception to assess the success. The plan should include a report on where tourism monitors are allocated and on what basis per province. Chair, I will send this recommendation on the group, and if it's in order, I would like really ask the committee to support me on this recommendation. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Honorable Linda. You can also send it through to Disang for incorporation into the report.
Chairperson, thank you very much. It is actually very helpful if members put it on the group, then we can see it and also support it. So it's easier to see it, but yeah, I will send it to Disang as well. Thank you, Chair.
Okay. Honorable Mutley.
Morning, Chair. Morning, everybody. Disang, well done. Firstly, if you look at the observation, it's a throttle problem. It's negative right through. There's nothing good came out of that observation. As the opposition, MK does not support this report. We will save our comments for later. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Mutley. Honorable Hlongo.
Thank you very much, Chairperson, and greetings to honorable members on the platform. I also want to commend our team, Disang and Dr. Kuzwayo, for the work they've done. And also, Chair, just to mention that I believe this report that the team of Disang and Dr. came with comes from the previous meetings that we would have had and put our inputs. So the recommendations that we are now putting here as members, I would suggest, Chair, that some would be taken for members to go and mention them in their declarations, because these recommendations, for instance, Honorable Ishmael says the committee recommends, but it's a recommendation coming from her and not part. It would have been better if these recommendations were brought in the previous meetings, then we understand and incorporate them. But now it comes from Honorable Ishmael, for instance. I'm just putting an example, and then it was not a recommendation that we would have discussed in a meeting. So if honorable members feel that there are things they need to speak about that the report does not cover and we did not discuss in the previous meetings, then they must put them in their declarations when the report goes to the House. Thanks, Chair. And I accept this report, Chairperson. I fully agree with it. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Hlongo. Honorable Maecho.
Thank you, Chair, and greetings to honorable members. Chair, let me echo the sentiments of Honorable Hlongo in accepting this report as a first point, but also raise a very serious concern from the ANC side and from the ANC perspective with regard to the triple BEE. And Chair, I want to make it very clear that the triple BEE is not a suggestion. It is the law of this country. The Constitution of the Republic has adopted this particular Triple BEE Act, and the Tourism BEE Sector Code are not optional for companies that want to do business in South Africa. So therefore, the international companies that invest here benefit from one, our infrastructure, our workers, our natural heritage, and our markets. Therefore, they must comply with our laws. You cannot demand, Chair, free trade and then reject transformation. And that is economic hypocrisy. And we cannot even argue further about this particular thing. Therefore, the DA defends apartheid economic infrastructure. Before 1994, the tourism sector was white-owned, white-managed, and designed to exclude majority. Black South Africans were laborers, not owners. Game lodges, hotels, tour operators, airlines were built on cheap black labor. So, and there was also dispossession of land. Now, triple BEE is here to redress those injustices. It is not a punishment, it is justice. So when the DA opposes triple BEE, they are simply telling us that the economic legacy of apartheid must remain untouched. We are rejecting it as the ANC chair. Other than that, we accept this report, and I agree, and I don't want to do rhetoric and repetition of what Honorable Hlongo said, that members they will therefore have to defer whatever that they want to include here in their declaration. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Maecho. Honorable Dihale.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. Good morning to yourselves and the honorable members, our colleagues on the call. Honorable members will notice that I just joined tourism, but I have to say something. Thank you very much, Honorable Maecho, for stressing on the issue of triple BEE. As the organization, the ANC, will continue to support the triple BEE as it was rightfully outlined by the honorable member. Let me not repeat what I wanted to say about the triple E because he has covered it very sharply. So, Honorable Chair, I want to join the honorable members who has adopted the report and welcomed it as presented before us as the committee. Allow me, Honorable Chairperson, to thank Ndadidi Sang for presenting the report to this committee. And allow me to continue to say the NDP recognizes tourism as one of the main drivers of employment creation and economic growth. So I really want to advise that is a wisdom for ending poverty. We need to continue to consider that. It is also a wisdom or a dream for eradicating poverty. It is a basic right of the people of South Africa in the pursuit of happiness. I want to continue to say this department lead in truth to fight poverty and achieve prosperity. This is what we want to see. We don't want to see the negative, Honorable Chairperson. And when we deal with the APP, we are thinking about the money and we are talking about the money, but the interests of the people normally are not met. So it is the people's interests that their interests should be met with regard to the issue of employment. We want to see the level of the rural grassroots being greatly improved permanently, not through the EPWP program as it was presented by Ndadidi Sang in our our program. So I want to put an emphasis on that one. And lastly, Chair, allow me to say, let's win the hearts of the people, because on that note, we will be winning the world. I want to thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Dikgale. I think those were all the hands that I noted. Are there any other hand? Honorable Mashabela?
She says she has been knocked out by the network, but she says she's got what is this? Recommendations, but she will send them.
It would have been good if she could have sent them to you and you could have read them to us. Because, all recommendations that we are now making those recommendations should be whatever we have left out in our previous discussions that we're adding. We are not coming with new ideas that we've never discussed before in our meetings. So now we are unable to see, whether what Honorable Mashabela is going to add, whether we have omitted it into this report. You see now she's making it difficult for us. Is it possible to ask her to send to you so that you go through it with us?
Yes, I'm trying to organize that, Chair. I've just sent her a WhatsApp. I'm going to call her now.
Okay, sure.
I've spoken to her, Chairperson. She's sending them.
Okay, thank you, Disang. Then you can quickly take us through what she's sending you. Is Honorable Tito in the meeting?
Honorable Tito is not present.
Honorable Basson? Is she present? I only heard one apology this morning, which was not the apology, which was Honorable Buthelezi.
Thanks, Chair. Thanks, Chair. I'm present. I'm present, Disang.
Okay, Honorable Tito, you may proceed.
Thanks, Chair. Like Disang has indicated to you that Honorable Mashabel is the one who's going to give you guys the submission in this manner. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Tito. Disang, is Honorable Basson in the meeting? I'm unable to see.
Yeah, no, I don't see Honorable Son in the meeting, Chair.
And we did not submit an apology for her. There was no apology for Honorable Basson. So it must be minuted that Honorable Basson is not in the meeting. We can't mark someone present when they are not in the meeting.
Yeah, Chair, I still haven't received anything. Chair, I see Dr. Kuzwayo has raised his hand.
Dr. Kuzayo may proceed while we are waiting for Honorable Mashabela.
Thank you, Chairperson. Firstly, now that the members have acknowledged Tisang and myself as a team, I would also like to include in that acknowledgement the researcher, the committee researcher, because the product that we are presenting in the committee is a collective effort of the work that has been done by the three of us. So I just felt that because it has been acknowledged in a public platform like this, let us also do justice in acknowledging the researcher as also someone, members would have seen that even in the research briefs that you received, there's some information that we took from there to enrich the report. Secondly, Chair, I just want to raise this issue, which is, I will say, problematic for us as support staff of the committee, and the process in terms of drafting the report. Some issues that have been raised by some members in this meeting are really party political policy matters, and we have listened to all the members. Let me make an example. One member, I won't be mentioning names of members, I'll just mention what was said. One member says, as an opposition, there was nothing good said in the observation, so we reserve our position. Another member raises issues around BEE. So these issues, in terms of process, so I'm saying this so that when members see the final report, because as we requested in the beginning, we will incorporate all the inputs, then we will check with the chairperson if she is happy that all the inputs have been incorporated, then we'll send the report for ATC. So in terms of process, we will broadly incorporate issues, for example, on triple BEE, because what the committee has agreed on generally amongst all parties is the issue of transformation. So we will see what members send to Tisang, then we'll incorporate issues broadly under transformation imperatives, and where there is a need for change of policy, as we enlisted to say the department says, for example, in this financial year or in the MTF, they'll be reviewing a particular number of policies and they enlisted them. Then the committee has enlisted a number of other policies that need to be reviewed. So if there is any issue that is strategy or policy, it will be on tourism specific issues, and other transversal issues. We will raise them like we normally do, so that we do not misrepresent the sentiments of the committee, but we capture what was said in meetings and what the committee agreed. So I'm saying, because in this meeting there have been some serious sentiments raised, and when the final report does not, because we really tried in terms of capturing the observations to be as detailed as members were, because there were a lot of issues to distill them. We tried as much as possible, but as I'm saying, this puts us as drafters of the report in that predicament. So chairperson and members will just broadly talk to issues. So other issues, what will advise the committee, there are some broad policy issues that members can use other avenues to raise with the minister, such as through direct questions that are raised in the to the minister, or as the chairperson has alluded, we don't know what the process will be, but if there are declarations that are allowed during the plenaries, that is where then members can raise those broad policy issues. So we're saying this so that we advise the committee correctly in terms of process, so that we do not ATC a report, then members go in the plenary and dispute the report. Is fine if the report is disputed as a party political matter, that is fine, but really we do not want to incorporate issues that do not represent the sentiments of the committee as a collective. So I felt, Honorable Chairperson, let us raise that as a process issue also in terms of drafting, to say we will raise broad issues. Like, for example, we normally raise issues. Let me make an example of visa reforms and so on and so on. So the committee will talk to the issues of visa reforms and so on and so on as to how they affect tourism. So the issues will also raise them. Just so we are raising this issue because it's an internal committee process, Chairperson, and it is our role to advise the committee correctly, because as a committee, you do not want to ATC a report that you do not agree upon, except in issues and processes that we know that a party can say, we do not agree with this report, and so on and so on. But what we request today is the adoption of this report with the amendments or the additions that have been raised by the committee, Chairperson. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Kuzwayo. Disang, did you
Yes,
receive?
Chair. Yes,
Did you
I've received
receive
them, Chair.
submissions from Honorable Mashabela?
Yes, Chair, I've received them now.
Okay, can you go through them for us, please, as well?
Okay. It says the committee has correctly observed that the 2026-27 allocation is inadequate, lacks real growth, and is not aligned with the scale of tourism sector's contribution to economic growth and job creation. The presentation further confirms confirms persistent governance weaknesses, poor planning and detail, and limited measurable impact. On this basis, the recommendation to reject the budget is justified. Against this backdrop, the following issues arises. One, the budget presents ambitious targets on job creation, transformation, and infrastructure development, yet it does not reflect the scale required to achieve these outcomes. How are these targets expected to be realized in the absence of adequate and aligned funding? More than half of the department's budget is transferred to South African tourism, despite ongoing governance concerns, lack of accountability, and weak performance indicators. What justification exists for sustaining this level of allocation without first resolving these systemic governance failures? The committee has noted that the APPs lack clear indicators, timelines, and impact assessment mechanisms, making effective oversight difficult. In the absence of measurable outcomes and accountability frameworks, how can this budget be considered credible or capable of delivering value for public funds? The presentation highlights job creation through programs such as Working for Tourism, yet there are no systems to track these short-term opportunities, whether these short-term opportunities translate into permanent employment. How does the department justify continued funding of programs that do not demonstrate sustainable economic impact? That's the input from Mema Shabel.
Thank you, Disang. Honorable members, those are all of our inputs. I've given everyone an opportunity to make the submission, and thank you, Dr. Kuzwai, for the advice. Thank you to our researcher, Sisan.
Chair, on a point of clarity, please, if I could just
Yes,
come in.
Honorable Ishmael.
Thank you, Chair. I just want to quickly say, while I fully understand, Dr. Kuzwayo and everything that is being said on this platform, I think I just want to highlight that, we may verbalize our political views in the meeting as we speak, but my view is not in my recommendations. If you're looking at my recommendation, and when I spoke, I just explained the negative impact. But if you see my recommendation, it's based on transformation that aligns to our GNU priorities and transformation. I have put it on the group, and I'm therefore, asking and suggesting that our members look at it so that we can see that, we're all politicians, we all have our views, but I think we are all here for the benefit of the tourism sector, and we all want to improve it. And as such, we've had BRRR reports coming to this, on our Zoom or even physically, where we've actually given inputs. And with regard to VTSDs and transformation and so forth, it was in our discussions. There is something spoken in our committee report, but I think we need to strengthen this in recommendations, and therefore I've suggested that recommendation. Please look at it in our group. It's basically aligned to our GNU priorities, and it's basically there to improve the functionality and our oversight role. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Ishmael. Dr. Kuzwayo, Disang, just check the submissions that was made in the WhatsApp group. I've not even checked it myself, but there are submissions that was made there in the WhatsApp group for incorporation into the report. PC on tourism. I see Honorable Basson is saying that she has been struggling to log in. Disang, has Honorable Basson been in the lobby?
No, Chair, she's not in the lobby.
Okay,
She's
then
probably having what is it? She's probably having a connectivity
network
challenge.
issues. Yeah. I think she's probably just having network issues. So, honorable members, I think we have now, let me just see. We have come to the end of number 4 on our agenda. We still need to adopt the report with all the amendments. May I have a mover for the adoption of the report?
May I say something, please?
Honorable Ishmael, I've already allowed you to say something.
With regard to our adoption of the report, if I may.
You may.
Thank you, Chair. I know you're asking for the adoption of the report, but now on the other honorable member that sent her submission to Disang that was mentioned here and our inputs with regard to our recommendations, can I suggest that our members look at it on the group, and then we can have a consolidated adoption of the report with amendments or with additions? I'm not sure when you're asking now, is it with those addition of the recommendations or just as the report as it is after Dr. Kurzweil has given us guidance on this matter? I've been listening to him, and obviously based on that, I'm making this suggestion that members look at our recommendations, and then we can, adopt this with the additions. Thank you, Chair.
Chair, are you still here?
I think the chair, no, she's in the meeting. She is in the.
Apologies, honorable members. I'm speaking here, but didn't even see that I am muted. Apologies for that. The submission on the WhatsApp will be added to the report, Honorable Ishmael. As well as the submission by Honorable Mashabela. I would have wanted also Honorable Mootley, just to also make a submission and not just to outright, even if you outright do not agree with you are now saying all the work that we've done through all the committees that we've said, even the work that we've done when we've discussed the APPs, you are saying that, you have nullified all that work. So I would have wanted Honorable Mootley also to see you making submission from the MK side. That is why I was looking for Honorable Mashabela from the EFF to also make a submission, and Honorable Basson, but she's now struggling to make her submission as well. When it comes to when we are going to do our debate, there in your declaration, you can then just, speak your party's views if you are not agreeing to the report. But here it's for us to ensure that, our report reflects all of our discussions that we've been having as this committee, during the past months. Honorable Dikhale, I see your hand is up.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. I was raising my hand in order to adopt the report presented before this committee. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Dikhale. We have a mover. Is there a seconder?
Thank you, Chair. My hand was also up, and I do second the move up of the adoption. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Tlonga. With that said, honorable members, it means our report,
Honorable
our draft.
Honorable Mootley's hand is up, Chair.
Okay, Honorable Mootley.
Yes, sorry. I will make some submissions and send it to the Sun.
Okay, now you see, Honorable Mootley, we were just asking for Honorable Mashabela's submissions so that we are able to see that, it's not contrary to our discussions during our committee meetings. Do you have them at hand?
No, no, Chair, I don't.
Okay, but send them to Disang and we will see.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Honorable Mootley. Okay, with that said, honorable members, we had a move and we had a seconder. Our report is adopted with the amendments. We'll now move to our fifth item on our agenda, which is the adoption of our minutes of the 21st of April. Disang, you can take us through.
Yes, Chair. Thank you very much. The minutes are the minutes of the 21st of April 2026, which was the briefing by department on their APP and the Department of SA Tourism on the APP for 2026-2027, including the consideration and adoption of the second quarter report. The members of the committee were present, the support staff and the delegation of of the department led by the minister, an SA tourism delegation, a synopsis of what was in the presentation of SA Tourist, Department of Tourism and SA Tourism, and then the conclusions and resolutions of the committee for the meeting. Then the consideration and adoption of the minutes and the draft second term program. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Disang. Honorable members, there you have our minutes for consideration. May I see hands for if there are any corrections to the minutes? Wait. or whether the minutes is a true reflection of our discussions. Disang, can you assist with the hands, please?
Thanks, Chair. Honorable Hlongwa here. I move that we adopt these minutes as a true reflection of our meeting.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Hlongo. Now I had a mover. Is there a seconder?
Yeah, I can second.
Honorable Linda is seconding.
Yes.
Honorable members, with that said, our minutes of the 21st of April is duly adopted. I think we've come now to the end of our meeting, Disang. Is that correct?
That's correct, Chair.
Honorable members, we've come to the end of our meeting for this week. Disang, is there any update on the Indaba?
Yes, Chair. We're just waiting for Honorable Frolic, Chair. I think they said they will report to us by 12 o'clock today.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay, Chair.
Okay.
I will update the members on the WhatsApp group.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
Okay, there you have it, honorable members. We will be waiting for the House Chair to give us a go-ahead to attend the Indaba and do some oversight in KZN. With that said, honorable members, our meeting stands closed. You may have a blessed week ahead of you, and we'll see each other in the precinct this afternoon. We will be busy the whole weeks in the precinct, so we'll be seeing each other. With that said, our meeting is closed. Thank you, Disang.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Chair. See you there.
Bye-bye.
See you later.